whistle! Good motion! Have care! Where's the master? Play the man! I pray now! Keep below! Where is the master, Bolton? Do you not hear him? You are our river! Keep not coming! You do assist the storm! Hey! Striker! Be patient! When the sea hits! Yet remember whom thou hast abhorred! None that I more love than myself! Silence! Traveler stone! Out of our way, I say!
By your art, my dearest mother, you have put the wild waters in this roar. Allay them. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Poor souls, they perished.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell thy piteous heart, there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day.
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prosperer, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater mother.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
It is time I should inform thee further. So, lie there, my lord. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. The direful spectacle of the wreck which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine heart so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as an hair, betid to any creature in the vessel which thou heardst cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, ma'am, I can.
By what? By any other house or person? Of anything the image tell me that is kept with thy remembrance?
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hadst. And more, Miranda. 12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. Thy mother held the dukedom of Milan and its princely power.
But are not you my mother?
The very same, who long ago was wife to him who ruled Milan most liberally, who with as tolerant a hand toward me gave license to my long hours in pursuit of hidden truths, of coiled powers contained within some elements to harm or heal. I brook no interruption but your squalling. For thou, child, art a princess born.
Oh, heavens. What foul play had we that we came from thence?
Upon thy father's death, authority was conferred, as was his will, to me alone, thereby awakening the ambition of my brother and thy uncle, called Antonio. Thou attendest not.
Good madam, I do.
I pray thee mark me, that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom I did charge to execute express commands as to the prudent governing of fair Milan, instead undid, subverted. Dost thou attend me?
Ma'am, most heedfully.
Perverting my upstanding studies, now he's slandering and bile-dipped brush did paint a faithless portrait. His sister a practicer of the black arts, a demon, not a woman, nay, a witch, and he full knowing that others of my sex have burned for no less. The flames now fanned, my counsellors turned against me, dost thou hear?
Your tale, ma'am, would cure deafness.
To credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke. Confederates with the King of Naples, to give him annual tribute, and bend my dukedom yet unbowed to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, heavens.
Now, the condition. The King of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens to my brother's suit, which was that he should presently eradicate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all its honours upon my brother. Whereon, one midnight, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness his ministers for the purpose hurried thence, me and thy crying self.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Dear, they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me. In few they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they'd prepared a rotten carcass of a boat. Not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast. The very rats instinctively had quit it, and there they hoist us, to cry to the seas that roared to us, to sigh to the winds whose pities, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast, that did preserve me. Thou didst smile, infused with a fortitude from heaven, that raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had and some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity did give us, with rich garments, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steadied much. Of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man. I pray you, ma'am, for still 'tis beating in my mind your reason for raising this sea storm.
By accident most strange, bountiful fortune now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master, grave dame, hail, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding, task Ariel and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to the point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article I boarded the king's ship. Now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometime I divide and burn in many places. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble. Yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit! Who was so firm, so constant that this coil could not infect his reason?
Not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, was the first man that leaped, cried, "Here is empty, and all the devils are here!"
Why, that's my spirit! But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they Ariels safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And, as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs, in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed.
Safely in harbour is the king's ship. In the deep nook, there she's hid. The mariners all under hatches stowed, who with a charm I have left asleep.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season?
Oh, at least 2 glasses. The time 'twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now? Moody? What is thou canst demand?
My liberty!
Before the time be out, no more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No,
Thou dost.
I do not, ma'am.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch, Sycorax? Hast thou forgot her?
No, ma'am.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Ma'am, in Algiers.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been which thou forgett'st. This damned witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing, from Algiers thou knowest was banished. Is not this true?
Aye, ma'am.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, was then her servant. But for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, she did confine thee into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died and left thee there. Thou best knowst what a torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl, and penetrate the breasts of ever angry bears. 'Twas mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command, and do my spiriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go. Make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine or mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go hence with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thy I slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit with Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, ma'am, I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetches in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us.
But ho! Slave! Caliban! Thou art thou, speak!
There's wood enough within!
Come forth, I say!
I must eat my dinner.
There's other business for thee! Come thou, tortoise, when?
Oh, the poisonous slave got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam.
Come forth!
As wicked dew as air, my mother, brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fan, drop on you both. A southwest blow on ye, and blister you all over.
For this, be sure tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than bees at Maydom.
This island is mine! Thy Sycorax, my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me and made much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in't, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle. The fresh springs, brine pits, barren place and fertile. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, lack on you. For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was my own king. Here you stye me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move not kindness, I have used thee with humane care, lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Would it had been done? Thou didst prevent me, I had people else this isle with Caliban.
Horrid slave, which any print of goodness will not take. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak.
You taught me language, and my profit on't is I know how to curse the Red Plague. Rage you for learning me your language.
Tax thee hence! Fetch us in fuel. Shrugs thou malice. If thou neglectst or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar, that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee. I must obey her orders of such power.
So, slave, hence.
seed where you have and kiss the wild waves whist, footed featly here and there, and sweet sprites the burden bear. Hark, hark, the watchdogs bark. Hark, hark, the watchdogs bark.
Where should this music be? The air or the earth? It sounds no more, and sure it waits upon some god of the island. Thence I have followed it. Or it hath drawn me, rather. But 'tis gone. No, it begins again.
Of his bones a coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea changed into something rich and strange.
The ballad does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The fringed curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is't? A spirit?
No, child. It eats and sleeps, and hath such senses as we have, such. This gallant which thou seest was in the wreck.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Oh, spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Oh, sure the goddess on whom these airs attend. Vouchsafe my prayer may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, oh, you wonder, if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sire. But certainly a maid.
My language, heavens. I am the best of them that speak this speech, wherever it were 'tis spoken.
How the best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing as I am now that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, with mine eyes, never since at ebb, beheld the king, my father, wrecked.
Alack for mercy.
Yes, faith in all his lords.
At first sight they have changed eyes. Oh, delicate Ariel, I will set thee free for this.
A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word!
Why speaks my mother so ungently? This is the second man that ere I saw the first, that ere I sighed for.
They are both in either's powers. But this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light.
One word more. I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not. And
have put thyself upon this island as a spy, to win it from me, the sovereignty.
No, as I'm a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple.
Follow me. Speak not you for him. He's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Follow. No, I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear mother! Make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What? I say my foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor. For I can here disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, mother.
Hence, hang not upon my garment.
Mom, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. Thou thinks there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban. Foolish child. To the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, nor this dame's threats to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid. All corners else of the earth let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
It works. Come on! Thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Hark what thou else shalt do me.
Be of comfort. My mother's of a better nature, sir, than she appears by speech.
Thou shalt be free as mountain winds. Then exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not for him.
Beseech you, sir. Be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy. For our escape is much beyond our loss. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, wear our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace. He receives comfort like cold porridge. Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir, one tell. When every grief is entertained that's offered, comes to the entertainer.
$1?
Dolour comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord.
Fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue. I prithee, spare.
Well, I have done. But yet,
He will be talking.
though this island seemed to be desert, uninhabitable and almost inaccessible,
Yes.
yet
I could not miss it.
the air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs, and rotten ones. Or as 'twere perfumed by a fen.
Here is everything advantageous to life.
True, save means to live. Of that there's none, or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green.
The ground indeed is tawny. With an eye of green in't.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit, that our garments, being as they were, drenched in the sea, are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Africa. In Tunis. At the marriage of your fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there. For coming thence my son is lost. And in my rage she too, who is so far remitly removed, I ne'er again shall see her. O thou, mine heir of Naples and Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surgeons under him and ride upon their backs. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No. No, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. That would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African.
Prithee, peace.
We have lost your son, I fear, forever. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the lost.
My Lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most like a surgeon.
'Tis foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather?
Very foul.
Prosper. Ah! All the infections that the sun sucks up from bugs, fins, flats, on Prosper 4, and make up by each will and disease! It's big, hear me. And yet I needs must curse. But for every trap what they set upon me, sometimes like apes that maul and chatter at me and have to bite me. Then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way and mount the pricks at my footfall. Sometimes am I all wound with adders, or with cloven tongues to haste me into madness. Ah! Ah! No! Here comes a spirit of hers, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. I'll fall flat. Perchance they would not mind me.
Spitting him from anybody.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather owl, and another storm brewing. I hear it singing the wind. Yon same black cloud, yond huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. Gut puck! If it should thunder, as it did before, I know not where I'd hide me head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. Hey, oh, whoa, 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 whoa! What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish. A very ancient fish-like smell. A strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fall there but would give a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man where they will not give a penny to relieve a lame beggar. They will lay out 10 to see a dead Indian. Legged like a man, and his fins like arms. Warm! Oh, my trough!
I do now. Let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that have lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter here about. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows.
Do not torment me, oh!
The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, love Moll, Meg, and Marion, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savour of tar nor of pitch, yet, oh fuck, yet a tailor might scratch her where'er she did itch. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. Then to sea, boys, and let her... This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men of Indy, huh? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs.
The spirit torments me! Oh!
There's some monster of the isle with 4 legs who have got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor.
Oh, do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. Come on your ways. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
Oh, I should know that voice. It should be. But he is drowned. And these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices, a most delicate monster. Come. Amen. I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano?
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him.
Stefano? If thou beest Stefano, touch me and speak to me. Be not afeard, for I am Trinculo. My good friend, Trinculo!
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculo?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke, but art thou not drowned, Stefano? Hid me under the dead moon calf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stefano? Stefano too, Neapolitan skate!
Prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if there be no sprites, that's a brave god and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved o'erboard.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Yeah, swear by this bottle how thou escapest.
Swum ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Yeah, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stefano, is there any more of this?
The whole butt, man. How now, moon calf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book. Swear.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I have feared of him. A very weak monster. The man in the moon, a most poor, credulous monster.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I will kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my God.
Come on, then. Down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster, a most scurvy monster. I could find it in my heart to beat him. But that the poor monster's in drinks.
Come, kiss.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear her no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
Most ridiculous monster, to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I pray thee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I, with my long nails, will dig the pignets. Show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmosets. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scamus from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now lead the way without any more talking, Trinculo. The king and all our company, us being drowned, we will inherit here.
Farewell, master! Farewell! Farewell!
A howling monster! A drunken monster!
No more dams are made for fish! No fetching, firing, and requiring! No scrap, trencher, no wash dish! Ban, Taliban! Has a new master! Get a new man! Freedom! Heide! Heide! Freedom! Freedom! Heide! Heide! Freedom!
Oh, brave monster, lead the way!
This my main task would be as heavy to me as odious. But the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labors pleasures. She is 10 times more gentle than her mother's craft. And she's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up on a soaring junction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget, but these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors. Most busiest when I do it.
Alas, now pray you, work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you were enjoined to pile. Pray, set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My mother is hard at study. Pray now rest yourself. She's safe for these 3 hours.
Almost, dear mistress. The sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that. I'll carry it to the path.
No, precious creature. I'd rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease. For my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against. You look wearily.
No, noble mistress. 'Tis fresh moaning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my mother. I've broke your head to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard. Many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women. Never any with so full soul. But some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and pierced the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I know only one more of my sex, no young woman's face remember. Save from my glass mine own, nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend. How features are abroad I am skilless of, but by my modesty. I would not wish any companion in the world but you. Nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, my mother's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition of prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service. There resides, to make me slave to it. And for your sake am I this patient log man.
Do you love me?
Oh heaven, oh earth, bear witness to this sound. I beyond all limit of what else to the world do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool. To weep at what I am glad of.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, which dare not offer. What I desire to give and much less take. What I shall die to want. But this is trifling. And all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence bashful cunning, and prompt me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then.
I, with a heart as willing as bondage ere freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in. Now farewell. Till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
Had I plantation on this isle, my lord, and were the king on't, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine?
No occupation, all men idle, all. And women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on't.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
Nature, without sweat or endeavour, would bring forth of its own kind all poison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among your subjects?
None, man. All idle. Whores and knaves.
Ah, I would with such perfection govern, sir, as to excel the golden age.
God save His Majesty.
Long live Gonzalo!
And, do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your Majesty, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you, sir. You may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given!
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, no, I warrant you, I would not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep? I'm very heavy. Ah.
Go sleep and hear us.
What? So soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. Oh, I find they are inclined to do so.
Do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Oh, wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
'Tis the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more. And yet methinks I see it in thy face what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do. And surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speaks out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange repose. To be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep. Die, rather. Winkst whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore, distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if heed me, which to do troubles the oar.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb, hereditary sloth instructs me.
Thus, sir, although this lord hath here almost persuaded the king his son's alive, 'tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way, so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Claribel.
She that is Queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from whom we all were sea-swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue, what to come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you?
Say this were death that now hath seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. But asleep with is for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your sister Prospera.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me. My sister's servants were then my fellows. Now they are my men.
But for your conscience.
Aye, sir, where lies that? 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan. Candid be they and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like that's dead, whom I, with his obedient steel, 3 inches of it can lay to bed forever, whiles you, doing thus to this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course.
Thy king's dear friend should be my bastard. As thou gott's Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. 1 stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to Folleton Gonzalo.
Good angels, preserve the king.
Why, no. Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here securing your repose, even now, we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather lions. Did not wake you. It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear, to make an earthquake.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming which did awake me. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground. Let's make further search for my poor son. Lead away.
Now Prospero shall know what I have done. So King, go safely on to seek thy son.
You're blind drunk.
Tell not me. When the butt is out, we will drink water, not a drop before. Therefore, bear up and boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster, the folly of this island. They say there is but 5 upon this isle. We're 3 of them. If the other 2 be brain like us, the stake totters.
Mooncalf, speak once in thy life, if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. Why, thou debauched fish, thou. Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quote he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Lo, again! Bite him to death, I pray thee.
Drink your low, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree. The poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
But marry, will I? Kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorceress, that by her cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest!
Thou liest! Thou jesting monkey, thou! I do not lie.
Trinculo, if you trouble him any more in his tale, by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why, I said nothing.
Mum, then, and no more. Proceed.
I say, by sorcery, she got this isle. From me, she got it. If thy greatness will revenge it on her, thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
Now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, my lord. I yield her there sleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into her head.
Thou liest, thou canst not!
What a pied mean is this? Thou scurvy patch. I do beseech thy greatness. Give him blows and take his bottle from him.
Why? What did I? I did nothing. I'll go farther off.
Didst thou not just say he lied?
Thou liest!
Do I so? Take thou that! As you like this, give me the lie another time!
Why? I did not give the lie! Out of thy wits and bearing to a pox on your bowl and the devil take your fingers!
Now, forward with your tale. I prithee, stand farther off. Come, proceed.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom with her in the late afternoon to sleep. There thou mayest brain her, having first seized her books, or with a log batter her skull, or pound her with a stake, or cut her weasel with a knife. Oh, but remember first to possess her books, for without them she's but a sot as I am, nor hath not one spirit to commend. They all do hate her as rootedly as I. Burn but her books, and most deeply to consider is the beauty of her daughter. Of women I've seen but these and Sycorax, madame. She has far surpassed Sycorax, as greatest as least.
Is it so brave a lass?
Aye, Lord. She will become that bad, I warrant, and bring thee forth a brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this witch. And her daughter and I will be king and queen. And Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like this plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I'm sorry I beat thee.
Within this half hour will she be asleep, whilst thou destroy her then.
Aye. On mine honour.
This will I tell my master.
Thou makes me merry. I am full of pleasure.
Come on, Trinculo, let us sing. Flout 'em and scout 'em.
Scout 'em and flout 'em,
Thought is free.
Grog 'em and flog 'em, flog 'em and flog 'em.
Thought is free. Stab 'em and stab 'em, stab 'em and nab 'em. Thought is free.
Bang 'em and hang 'em,
Hang 'em and bang 'em. Thought is free. Flay 'em and flay 'em, flay 'em and flay 'em. Thought is free. What is this saying? If thou beest a man, show thyself.
Oh, forgive me my sins.
Oh, mercy upon us.
Art thou feared?
No, monster, not I.
Be not afeared. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears. And sometimes voices that if I then had waked after a long sleep will make me sleep again. And then in dreaming the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me that when I waked I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed,
But I can go no further, sir. I needs must rest me.
Old lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness. Sit down and rest. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Oh, well, let him go.
I am right glad that he's so out of hope.
The next advantage will we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight.
What harmony is this, my good friends? Hark.
Marvelous, sweet music.
Give us kind, keep us, heavens.
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? Oh.
We have stomachs. Wilt please you taste of what is here?
Faith, sir, you need not fear.
I will stand to and feed, although my last, no matter, since I feel the best is past.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny hath caused to belch up you. And on this island, where man doth not inhabit, you amongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements, of whom your swords are tempered, may as well wound the loud winds as diminish one down that's in my plume. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you 3 from the land did supplant good Prospera, her and her innocent child, for which foul deed the powers delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace. The of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and to pronounce by me lingering perdition, shall step by step attend you and your ways.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel. My high charms work. And these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They now are in my power.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous. Monstrous. Methought the billows spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me. And the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced the name of Prospera. It did base my trespass. Therefore my son in the Ouse is bedded. And I'll seek him deeper than e'er plummets sounded. And with him there lie mudded.
With one fiend at a time, I'll fight their legions all! I'll be thy second! All 3 of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after, now begins to bite the spirits. I shall follow them swiftly, and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Oh, Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast of her, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise, and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it, against an oracle.
Then, as my gift, and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue, and long life, the strongest temptation shall never melt mine honor into lust.
Fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own.
Monster, your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than played the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear, Monster?
Good my lord, give me thy favour still.
I bet to lose our bottles in the pool.
There is not only disgrace and dishonour in that monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wetting. Yet all this is your harmless fairy, monster.
What, Ariel? My industrious servant! Ariel!
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Go. Bring the rabble, or whom I give thee power, here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
Aye, with a twink.
Before you can say come and go. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel.
Oh, mistress mine, where are you roaming? Oh, stay and dear, your true love's coming, that can sing both high and low. Trip no further, pretty sweeting, journeys end in lovers meeting. Every wise man's son doth know. What is love? 'Tis not hereafter. Present mirth hath present laughter. What's to come is still unsure. In delay there lies no plenty. Then come kiss me, sweet and 20. Youth's a star will not endure, will not endure.
Look thou, be true. Do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaths a straw to the fire of the blood.
I warrant you, madam, the white, cold, virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well. No tongue, all eyes, be silent. my life. Avoid! No more! No more!
Strange. Your mother's in some passion that works so strongly.
Never till this day saw I her touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits that melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, and all which it inherit, shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish you peace.
Come with a sword. I thank thee, Ariel, come.
What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander.
Say again, where didst thou leave thee, varlet?
I told you, ma'am. They were red hot with drinking. I left them with the filthy mental pool beyond your cell. There, dancing up to the chins, that the foul lake outstunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. The trumpery in my house, go put it out for stale to catch these thieves.
I go.
Devil. Born devil. On whose nature nurture can never stick. On whom my pains, humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. I will plague them all, even to roaring.
Pray you, tread softly. We now are near her cell.
No.
Pray you, be quiet. See us now here. This is the mouth of this cell. Give me thy hand. I begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stefano! Oh, worthy Stefano! Look at what wardrobe is here for thee!
Let it alone, thou fool. It is but trash.
Oh, monster! We know what belongs to a frippery. Oh, King Stefano!
Put off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand, I'll have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it. Oh! I look a dream, don't I? Oh, how could it be real? Oh! Yeah. Oh. Looking for business, Governor?
What do you mean to do with some such luggage? Let alone into the murder first.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Lion, is not this my jerkin?
Do. We still by line and level. And like your grace?
I thank thee for the jest. Here's a garment for it, which shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country.
Monster, come put some lime on your fingers and away with the rest.
I will have none on't. We shall lose our time and all return to Barleycorn.
Monster, lay on your fingers, or I'll turn thee from my kingdom. Go to, carry this.
And this.
Aye, and this.
thy mercy all mine enemies. Now does my project gather to a head. Shortly shall all my labours end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom.
Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Just as you left them. All prisoners, ma'am. The king, his brother, and yours abide all three distracted. But chiefly him that you termed, ma'am, the good old Lord Gonzalo. His tears run down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works 'em, that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, master, were I human.
And mine shall. As thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, and shall not myself, one of their kind, be kindlier moved than thou art? Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason 'gainst my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They, being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break. Their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, ma'am.
Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and then do fly him when he comes back. You demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the ewe not bites. And you, whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms, that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though ye be, dimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers oped, and led 'em forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book.
friend, for you are spell stopped! Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver, and a loyal sir to him you followest, I will pay thy graces home both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood. You, brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorseful nature, who with Sebastian would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Your understanding begins to swell. Ariel, fetch me the skirt and bodice from my cell. I will discase me and myself present as I was sometime Milan. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free. Oh, I shall miss thee, Ariel. But yet thou shalt have freedom. So. Behold the wronged Duchess of Milan, Prospera. I bid a hearty welcome.
Where thou beest, she or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. This must crave, and if this be at all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospera be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age.
Oh.
Whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Oh. Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
Welcome, my friends all. But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I could here pluck down his highness' frown upon you and justify you traitors. At this time, I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in her.
No. For you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth. I do forgive thy rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest, Prospera, give us particulars of thy preservation. How thou hast met us here, who 3 hours since were racked upon this shore, where I have lost my dear son Ferdinand.
I am woe for it, sir, for I have lost my daughter.
Daughter? When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. But howsoe'er you have been jostled from your senses, know for certain that I am Prospera. Welcome, sir. This cell's my court. I pray you, look in.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
My dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this prove a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose.
The seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise, and say how thou camest here.
many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is. Oh, brave, new world that has such people in't.
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence she's mine. I chose when I couldn't ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one.
Give me your hands.
Be it so. Amen.
Wast well done?
Bravely, my diligence. Set Caliban and his confederates free. Untie the spell.
Every man shoot for all the rest! Coraggio, bully monster! Coraggio!
If these be true spies which are wearing the head, then here's a goodly sight.
Oh, Setibos, this be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm afraid she will chastise me.
What things are these, my Lord Antonio? Will money buy 'em?
Very like. One of them is a plain fish and no doubt marketable.
These three have robbed me and have plotted together to take my life. Two of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler?
And Trinculo is reeling ripe. How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last that I fear me it will never out me bones. Right?
Why, how now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I am not Stefano, but a cramp.
And you'd be king of the Isle, sirrah.
I should have been a sore one then.
This is a strange thing as e'er I looked on.
What a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for God and worship this dull fool.
Go to away.
Hence and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, and in the morn I'll bring you to your ship and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptials of these, our dear beloved, solemnized. And thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave. My Ariel, chick, that is thy charge. Then to the elements be free.
Where the bee sucks their sucker, in a cowslip spell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On a bat's back I do fly. After summer, merrily, merrily, merrily shall I live now. Under the blossom that hangs on the
from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults, pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence, let your indulgence set me free. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair unless I be relieved by prayer. Spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults, pierces so that it assaults